What's going on, and welcome back to another Legion gear review and kit setup. And in this video, we're going to be talking about various fanny packs and how they can be utilized when it comes to operating drones from roughly the 5-inch all the way up to the 15-inch size and frames, and systems that are out there or for use within at least the U.S. military and around the world. So with that, I had some really cool training opportunities and things that were going on over 2025, and it kind of took me away from YouTube for a while. That's why I wasn't able to post really anything all of 2025 in conjunction with some other personal life things that were going on. So with that, trying to take the time right now before I move down to Louisiana and teach down at JRTC at the SOT-D to try and catch up as much as possible. And this is one of the critical things that I really wanted to post, and I talked about quite a bit with some of the other leadership and peers that I have within the SOF enterprise and the drone enterprise, that it's all going on with all those dudes. So with that, I'm going to dive right into this. Hopefully this helps out all of the other SOF communities in the US and units and all that stuff, and potentially allies across the world. But just wanted to take the experience that I gained and the things that I experienced out in the field to help optimize and enable, drone pilots, drone support personnel, drone team leaders, squad leaders, cell leaders, whatever kind of structure that you have. Like, this is one of those PCC, PCI critical pieces of equipment and like kit setups that you're going to need when it comes to just dealing with drones and running everything that you got. So with that, I'm going to dive right into it. I've got some stuff on the side that I'll pull into frame here in a little bit as I talk through all of it, and I'll talk about some other pieces of equipment that you can do or purchase and whatnot to kind of scale this, large scale, small scale, and custom tailor it to the systems that you guys are flying, so that way you're operating, as efficiently as possible when it comes down to it. So with that, diving right into it, I've got the Eberly stock bando bag. I've got the small version right here. I've also got the large version off to the side as well. These are packed almost identically. Battery tester is being the exception, just because they're a little bit more expensive when it comes to kit and equipment. So I only got one for the two setups, but just interchangeable when it comes down to it. So with that, the fanny pack's kind of like the core piece of it all to be able to carry everything, have it front loaded and or back loaded to be able to carry, batteries, different types of drivers, or needle nose pliers, or different types of pliers, and things to grab onto stuff, wire cutters, prop tools, various different types of that, smoke stops, battery testers, electrical tape to help tie things down if you need to, and then we got a multi-tool as well as just some extra 550 cord that I got here on the side. So all of this stuff can fit inside of your small Eberly stock bando bag fanny pack. Depending on the batteries, you may need to size up a little bit. That's why I have the large one as well, because if you're running larger drone systems and you want those batteries easily accessible to where you can access everything on your own, you're going to want the bigger one to be able to deal with and manage all of that. And then that way it opens up your back for assault packs or different types of carrying systems like malice frames with MOLLE panels and all that to run your drones and some of the other equipment that you're going to need. So it kind of helps displace all the equipment that you got. So with that, when it comes to packing this up, it's really kind of straightforward. The front little small pocket is for more of your smaller tools, like your prop tools, pliers, wire cutters, drivers, so on and so forth. But you have all of that equipment just up front, ready to go. So then that way, if you need to do any kind of maintenance or repair or like minor work on the drone right before you fly, you have the ability to just quickly and easily access all of that up front. And it's right there, easily accessible, and that way you don't have to open up the larger pockets and all that and dig through stuff. And then on the interior pocket that we got here, you can just throw all of your other items that you got. You have 550 cord if you got to tie things down. You've got electrical tape to tape things down if you need to tape them down as well. And then you have smoke stop just to make sure last minute checks, whatever the case may be, you don't accidentally blow up a drone with a battery because it was the wrong battery or whatever the case may be. And then you got your battery tester that you throw in that pocket as well. And then that way everything is nice and neat and concealed and set up in there, and then your multi-tool can just kind of go in the middle for whatever additional stuff you may need to use that for as well. There's some guys that I know that would also run like a small soldering iron kit inside of there as well if they needed that. If you're soldering in the field, that's probably not the right answer. In my opinion, there's a lot of reasons for it. I mean, one, there's fire hazards, there's smoke. So like when you're doing seals, stop, look, listen, smell, you can definitely smell that stuff. You have a heat signature. So if you're going to, potentially have adversaries utilizing thermals, that's going to give off a thermal signature. So the little things to think about when it comes to that. But if you have the head cover or top cover to be able to do any type of repair like that, where you're soldering stuff, that is an option as well. Just make sure you have the solder and flux and everything that you need for that. So with that though, on the back side of this pocket, the larger pocket essentially becomes your battery bag. You can throw your batteries in there. Just make sure that they're neatly packed in there. Depending on what batteries you're using, obviously it's going to take up less space or more space, and you can set all those up in the back there. Now with that, in the back, obviously the bando bag being more for like concealed carry stuff and some other stuff like that, you can actually get extra loops and then stuff your batteries in there and then line your batteries up depending on how many that you need for those tactical training and real world operations and all that stuff. So that's something to think about, to where you can carry, I think I fit up to 5 4S 22 milliamp hour batteries inside of this thing, just on like a quick little, let's go out, fly for a little bit and come back and take as little as possible. So yeah, you have the ability to fit quite a few in there as far as that size battery goes. If it's a 6S, you may be cutting it down to 4. If it's a 3S or a 2S or something smaller, depending on the size of the battery, you may be able to carry a lot. It just all depends on like what you're doing and what the operation is and all of that. But 4S, 6S, 4 to 5 batteries roughly. Now, if you're running something a lot bigger, let's say it's a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, you may only be able to fit 1 or 2. If it's anything beyond that, that is when I would recommend upgrading to the larger bando bag from Everly stock that you have here. We don't unfortunately have any big batteries. Actually, I may have one. I'm going to step back real quick and see if I got one. I do have one. All right, so 5200 milliamp hour battery. You can see size-wise how this looks inside the large one. I mean, you're getting pretty close to being able to fit, but if you flip it upside down, 4 to 5 of those 5200 milliamp hour batteries inside of the larger bando bag, and then have the extra space and everything that you need in the front for all of your tools and stuff like that. Now, let's throw this in the smaller one. You're gonna see you're probably only gonna be able to fit, 2 at most. So, can't really set it up straight, but if you set it sideways, 2 to 3. So, it all depends on just the size of the battery and what it is. This is obviously a 4S, but these things work really, really well when it comes to just those small little tools and things that you need for drone operations and all that. And then obviously it's scalable for larger platforms and larger batteries and all of that. So something to think about when it comes down to it, and how you may want to set up all of your equipment for drone operations. Now, additionally, Everly stock is not the only product out there that works for this kind of stuff. I've used, drop down panels and pouches and stuff like that for plate carriers. I'm not a big fan of those, but they do work very well, and they work very well for people that prefer that kind of a setup. I actually have one that I lent out to one of the guys that was working for me. He still has that and is still running with it and absolutely loves it. So those, plate carrier dangler type systems are definitely an option when it comes down to it. The recommendations I have for those, Faro Concepts is a really good one. Spiritus Systems is another one. There's a plenty of systems out there that have Kevlar body armor integrated into them, so that's also an option if you want that additional body armor coverage for like the lower abdomen and pelvic region. And then if you want something that's really small and compact, that's more of a fanny pack style, you can also go with the Helicon Tex Bandicoot or Bandicoot, whatever bag, whatever they call it. It's essentially just a smaller version of the Everly stock bando bag. Not by much, but just enough to where you may have to drop, 1 or 2 batteries off, just because of how small and compact it is, but you can still throw all of your tools and everything that you need to be able to get that bird up in the air as fast as possible, get props on, and so on and so forth. So with that, additionally, some food for thought in the back here. Batteries plus props is a good idea. So like maybe drop a battery or 2 to be able to fit your props in there. So then that way, as you're maneuvering, don't throw the props on and maneuver. The props are probably going to break depending on what they're made out of, if it's composite or carbon fiber or whatever. But if it's relatively that more plastic, rubbery, I guess you could say, prop, it's probably going to be all right. But definitely your carbon fiber and your composite injected molded props are going to potentially break if they're on the drone and you're trying to maneuver through a wooded area. So protecting your props is a really important thing when it comes to maneuvering. But especially like something like this larger one, you're going to be able to fit 5-inch props easily in there. It's going to get really tight in the smaller one. But maybe you just allocate a designated pouch for all your props and all that stuff on your kit. Or if you have a bag, you throw them in a specific pocket for that. But with that, I just wanted to take a quick moment and kind of talk kit setup for drone stuff and some of the mission essential things that you're going to need just based off my experience with all of it. And then hopefully that helps everybody out. So then that way you're not forgetting anything that you may need to be able to, throw props on, get the batteries on the bird or that drone, and then get that bird in the air as fast as possible. So with that, if you guys have any questions, comments, cares, concerns, by all means, leave a comment in the comment section. We'll help you out in any way that we can. When I'm down in Louisiana, so I've been told, I'll be doing a lot of drone stuff. So hopefully that experience will continue to develop in the amount of different units and organizations that I'll be working with, both on the soft and the conventional side. Will hopefully create more content to be able to help service members and all that, and the guys that are in the drone world and navigating these problems simultaneously. So with that, if you have any questions, again, please feel free to leave a comment. We'll help you out in any way that we can, and we'll answer those questions. And look out for some of the other drone content that we're going to be posting up here in the near future. I've got a Malice frame with a multi panel. That's going to be a big piece to a lot of drone carrying configuration stuff. Because assault packs, they work, but they don't always work. It just depends on the configuration and what you got. But keep an eye out for those videos. And with that, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.